Yes, I finally got a job. I'm no longer a loser. So making $13 an hour, and I just drove every single day. 6 years later, for that same company, from customer service rep, I was running the entire company. Like 14 promotions, just when everyone was working 8 hours, I did 16. I did whatever it could to just move up the ladder. Finally felt good about myself, started making money. I think I was making $150,000 a year. Back then in the corporate world, that was a lot of money. But my problem was, because I didn't feel good enough, I tied my identity to money. And so while I was working, hey Michael, can I get a glass of water? Thank you. So agents in the business, in payment processing, I saw the residual reports. And the residual reports, they're making $200,000-$300,000 a month. And I was thinking, I helped them make that money. And sometimes I helped them close those deals. I want that. That time, Pauline was in the, thank you. That time, Pauline was in the mortgage industry. She was making approximately $15,000 a month, and it was plenty. So I told her, hey, you hold your job, I'm going to quit my job because I want to become a sales rep, a sales agent. I didn't want anyone to control who I could be or how high I could go. And so I learned how to sell. I learned how to look people in the eyes because I struggled with self-esteem. No matter how much I accomplish in life, it's just this little echo that says you're not good enough. And I think in one of the intro videos, I shared that, I was just uncomfortable in my own skin. I don't know what it was. So I went door to door asking for business. I started emailing the contact tab on websites at night, not knowing no one's going to return my email. I promised myself that I would do 300 emails a night. I didn't sleep. I just did whatever I could. Eventually, I learned to network. Eventually, I learned to put myself in the right circles, right position, finding people that led me to other people. I landed a couple of infomercial accounts. ShamWow, Kevin Trudeau, his books, right? A lot of, gadgets and widgets, right? And then my residual started to climb. My first residual check was $38.47. That was one of my most proudest moments. I took it home. Pauline, look, my check. She laughed at me. She said, okay, honey, as long as you stay busy, as long as you're not gambling, this feels good. I was like, I'll show you. And so I continued to build my residual. And at one point in time, and I think I shared this residual report with you yesterday, Pat, because I didn't want anyone to not believe me. My residual grew to $900,000 a month.
Wow.
Because my identity was so tied to money, I became a machine, a robot, whatever. I climbed every single wall that was put in front of me. And then this is where the problems in my life actually don't start but continue. The company that I was the sales rep for, National Merchant Center in Irvine, they stopped paying my residual. The two owners were embezzling money from each other, and it's like, you know what, let's just not pay hip trade. I had agents under me, so it's very similar to this business, how we have an organization, we have downlines. And so they owed me $2 million, and I was broke again. Because when you start making money that fast, no one tells you have to pay the tax man at the end of the year. And so imagine the money I was making, and my wife and I were like Bonnie and Clyde. We just worked 4 or 5 hours, and we had fun all day. But then I was broke. That was in 2008. My wife and I now were then married, and I had $300,000, and I put it in with another partner to create a company called Amare Payment Solutions. 2008 is not the best time to create a company, but as an entrepreneur, we don't think that far. We don't think, we just go. When we want something, we just jump. And so I started Amare Payment Solutions with 5 people. Mark Nguyen, he will be my CTO for life. Do you know why? He's my wife's brother.
I love it.
So Mark, you have job security. So Mark and I started a little office in Irvine with 5 people. We had, foldable Costco table, a couple laptops, and we had some servers to process our payments. Back then, security for servers were just hiding. So we put something in front of it so no one would see it. We didn't have hacking problems back then or anything like that. Jumping back to my personal life, Pauline and I been together since 13. I don't know, did any of you guys see my kids yesterday? They're everything to me. She asked me if we wanted, if I wanted to still be married to her. It was frustrating because the doctors couldn't say, something's wrong with me or something's wrong with her. We just had unexplained infertility. And so it's the control aspect of me that just drove me crazy. She was very depressed, she was crying every day. So then I just started focusing on work. And from 2008 to 2010, we grew to 50 full-time employees. Established a net worth of a little bit over $10 million. So, from customer service rep in 2000, making $13 an hour to 2010, $10 million. Wow, went a long way. I was the vision of success for the family. And then there was regulatory change in payments, and then I lost everything. So this is the second time we went broke. Didn't know how to go home, tell Pauline, I can't pay for the doctor visits no more, to the in vitro doctor. When my parents, were retired, I usually gave them a certain amount of money every month. Wow, I don't have any money. The entourage that usually follows you, that do your thing, but there's no more money. Everyone looks up to you, and then you have this pressure, but you're broke. First things first, we wanted to borrow more money to get to the doctor. So we borrowed more money in cycles 5, 6, and 7. My wife got pregnant. And so my family has been through 7 cycles of in vitro. And so from that, I got my beautiful daughter, Madison, Mila, and Misha. Those are the ones you guys saw yesterday. So it gave me an opportunity to breathe and focus really back on the business. When I lost the business in 2010, I never laid off one employee. I thought to myself, this is my family. I can't let them go. So I put everything on my shoulders and continued to grind. Borrowed more money, dumped into the business, but at a cost. It costs my health and wellness. If you understand where I came from nothing, from 2000, 2006, losing everything, build it back up, 2010, losing something, not many people can do that. I numbed the stress with alcohol, substances, Xanax. I lived a double life. I hid it from my family for a number of years. And it started taking a toll on me. I really hated what I became. I would wake up in the morning and look at myself, and with all this guilt and shame, and say, how do you keep waking up? Why don't you just die? So after I would get up, I would just go to work and just drive, and just try to accomplish more. When I would accomplish more, I would hope people would love me. I would give people money in hopes they would love me. My family, everything. Bought homes, bought cars for everyone. And then one day my wife showed me a video of me sleeping. Watching yourself gasp for air is, I said I would take as much Xanax as I could to knock me out, so I could wake up every day, to get to my meetings and do what I needed to do. It started taking a toll on my body, and I was like, man, I don't know if you're gonna make it out of this one. I don't know how many lives you have left in the tank. Then out of nowhere, in 2014, a company called PaySafe, a global company called PaySafe, called our reception desk and said, we want to buy your company. I'm like, I've heard this many times before, or whatever. But if you want a meeting, we'll take a meeting with you. At this time in 2014, all debt was repaid. We're debt-free as a company. I was in a bad place. To give you some perspective, at 35, I had a $10 million cash value life insurance policy on my life. Who does that at 35? Unless you think you're not going to make it. And I remember that policy. I gave a book this big. I was like, Mark, put this in your safe. If anything ever happens, we'll just bring this book out. So we went through the deal, and I looked at my partner. Hey, my partner was different. Alan Klein, he came from a lot of money. So I told him, hey, if they offer us $100 million, I'm out. You can keep going if you want, but I'm out. I did the quick math in my head. 50 million after taxes, that might leave me 30 million. I have 30 years to live. I'm saying that at 35. As long as I don't overspend and don't spend more than $1 million a year, I should be good. The offer ended up coming over at $225 million. I was like, wow, I wasn't even looking to sell. What a blessing this is. Now I don't ever have to worry about my wife or my kids ever again. At least whatever happens to me, they can start over and they can figure it out. Another bad decision in my life. We accepted the deal, but they said, wait, here's the money. Hey, we've been watching you and your businesses a long time, and it's a public company. Here's the money, but we want you to be our CEO. I chuckled. You have no idea how broken I am. I was saying that in my head. You know, I clean up well, I can get in a suit, but man, geez, back then I was so broken. Things like this, guys, is hard for me. It's hard for me to get up in front of people and speak. And so I wanted to overcome that, so I thought, hey, let's go be CEO of a public company. Let's face my fears. Let's get in front of crowds and just face it. So I took their role as CEO for PaySafe. So if I thought my health was bad in 2014, it got a whole nother level bad. Every couple of days, I'm going from Orange County to London, to Montreal, all the major US cities to tell the story of how we're taking payments to the future. So that created more stress. It created more stress getting in front of crowds and just started speaking all the time. I would go into boardrooms and look at the 10 people sitting down, and the thing that went in my head or voice was, what if they asked me, when did you graduate? I didn't graduate. I just imagined Ivy League graduates and then not feeling good enough and having anxiety and letting that build up. So what did I do? More Xanax to calm your nerves. Before I got in front of every room, more Xanax. Xanax to knock myself out on the plane so I can wake up in London, so I can pop up, do what I need to do, and then go on to the next destination. 2014 to 2015, we grew their business 50%. Running a private company of 100 employees is so different from running a company of 3,800 employees globally. 15 to 16, we grew their business another 50%. The company was happy, but I believe they knew the wheels were starting to come off. You know, I was trying my best to just hold it together. And it takes me to 2016 in January. Actually, let me go back a little bit. So, PaySafe sold last year for $3.2 billion. I was the biggest personal shareholder still. So I've done well. January 2016, my family was taking me to the airport in a white little minivan. And I looked in the mirror and I saw my daughter Madison, and she started to cry. She's like, "Daddy, why do you keep leaving us? Why do you keep doing this to us?" And all my girls proceeded to cry. My wife cried. My wife pleaded with me, "What are you doing? What are you running from? You're the most successful person I know. What are you doing?" And then I just had this moment of clarity where if I kept going on these business trips every 3 days, there's one day maybe the plane would go down or the hotel door may not open. You know, I finally died in my sleep. I promised my family a lot of things. So when I got back from that trip, before I could go home and see my family, I was picked up by corporate. They brought me in the room and said, "Hey, we have an offer for you. You've grown our business massively the last 2 years. I have an offer for you." When I took the role as CEO, I took out a $100,000 salary. That's it. No performance bonuses, nothing. I kept a portion of my proceeds that I sold the business to in the company. They offered me $2 million a year to stay on as their CEO because they saw that I was getting tired. But I said thank you, but no thank you. So then it's January 2016, I resigned.
Just 3 years ago.
You know, back then, when we struggled with depression, anxiety, addiction, whatever it is, you learn to put on your jacket and just let it roll off your back and go do your thing. I had to put my ego, pride down and check myself into treatment. I worked with the best doctors, naturopaths, nutritionists, coaches to slowly gain my health and my mental wellness back. It took about 6 months for my clarity to come back. I started getting my life back. I missed so many years with my family. Now I'm taking my kids to school every morning, taking them to their taekwondo, their swim class, all these things. And to watch your girls run across the schoolyard and yell their name, "Daddy, Daddy," and hug you because they're so proud, nudging their friends, "That's my daddy." It's the best feeling in the world. Life couldn't get better, right? Came from nothing, building all these things, made a bunch of money, got sick, got better, overcame, got my family still, everything's intact. And then it gets better, actually. I'm sitting on the couch watching TV now, I'm retired, summer of 2016, and Pauline walks by and throws a pregnancy test and it lands on me. I'm like, ew, people pee on this. In my mind, it could be ours. We went through 7 cycles in vitro. I thought she was sharing that her sister was pregnant. She goes, "No, it's ours." I wanted to crack a joke. Maybe it's yours. I thought about it, but I didn't want to say it. After everything we've been through, and God blesses us, we have a child naturally, and we got a son.
Yay.
We named our son Christian because we believe it's a gift.
Amen.
And so, now my life is really good. 3 girls, pregnant wife, retired, and then the entrepreneur in me starts coming back. I can't sit still. If you ever watch me, I can't sit still. My wife is going shopping, she's doing these things, she's cooking for us, and then one day I just tried to help her optimize her day. It wasn't just one day, I did it for a week. And I remember her across the room, and I said something, and at the blink of an eye, she was right here in front of me. She goes, hey, if you want to stay married, you should find something else to do. So I said, okay. So I thought to myself, if I no longer needed to chase money, and if it wasn't about money anymore, I have enough money where I don't need money. I don't need money from Amare. I definitely needed to work. I thought to myself, what would excite me to jump out of bed? There's two things: mentoring and coaching people. I want to be around health and wellness so that I don't live a double life. I don't have things that I do. So the first thing that came to my mind was network marketing. Because there's always a health component and there's a lot of mentoring and coaching. I love mentoring and coaching, and I know some people in this room that I actually mentor you guys. You know, so I mentor about 20 people on a monthly basis for free. The joke in Orange County is, if you allow me to mentor you, I will pay you. So the next step was really having Mark and Wilson join me. Called up Mark, hey Mark, we're gonna create an MLM. I was like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you go take another vacation, and we'll come back, and we'll create another payments company and sell that for a couple $100 million, and then you can retire. Like, oh no, that's too easy. It was right then that was a major pivotal point in my life. You have everything. You got your health back. You got your family's still intact, and now you have this choice: create another payments company, or maybe everything that you have that has happened to you happened for a reason. Maybe I went through everything I went through for a reason. So I felt like, it was one of those God moments where, are you going to ignore all that and bury your head in the sand, just sit on the beach and retire for the rest of your life, or go do something about it? So I chose to do something about it. I wanted to create legacy. I wanted to make an impact in the world. One of my mentors has always said is, what are the people at your funeral going to say? If you create payments, create all this money, sit here at the beach and retire and go on your jets, that's not a life you live. I've made a lot of money through my life, but I wasn't truly happy. It wasn't purposeful. It wasn't impactful. So it was our decision to go create an MLM. I finally got Mark and Wilson buy it. And we were sitting on a small table like this in my garage. It's a nice garage, guys. It's not like I don't want you to see you. It's a very nice garage. So we're sitting around the table in the garage. Like, what do we do? And I used to remember having meeting after meeting. We would just stop at the same spot because we didn't know what to do. I was like, fine, let's go join 30 network marketing companies ourselves. So we joined 30 companies. Plexus, Beachbody, Shackley, Avocare, doTERRA, Rodet Fields, everything. We joined 30 companies, and every single day we wake up and just ingest all the products. Tamara, many of you know Tamara. Tamara was very instrumental on helping me get back to get my health back. And so we ended up bringing Tamara on the team and others and other doctors, because I was like, okay guys, you're going to help me ingest all these products. They picked it up. They're like, no thanks. They wouldn't take the products. I couldn't understand. The products out there in the world are so bad with everything in it. So I couldn't imagine how some of these companies built billion-dollar companies with these bad ingredients. How could you do that?
Exactly.
There must be a different component to this business that I don't understand. So I started going to the conventions. That's where I met Rich. I mean, I was at an Isogenics and Rodan and Fields convention. There was something for me. When I saw people walk on stage, excited, crying, sharing their story, and hearing truly their story from, he was a truck driver, now he's a multi-millionaire, now he's giving back to the world, and he's crying, I'm crying. And then I looked at, I was at doTERRA's event too. 30,000 people they had. Jeez, more than basketball games. I was in the nosebleed seats because I didn't know Rich yet. And they were pumping essential oils into the crowd. There has to be something in those oils. I looked at Rich, I saw Rich and I said, I'm gonna be able to recruit and hire him one day. So that's really when I fell in love with this business. I wanted to make an impact and change people's lives and make a difference in others. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about the people we can help. So I knew I had to surround myself with the best corporate team possible. Mike Brown joined me, Mark Wilson, Christy, and then we attempted to recruit Rich, and eventually, after many, many months of dating, he said yes. And so when yes, you came to my hotel room.
Don't tell that part.
I didn't look in your eyes. So after Rich came on, he brought credibility and experience to us and opened the doors to other people. And the first year, door after door after door started opening. Dr. Sean came on, Pat came on, and Pat had to ask me 10 times, why do you want to do this? You've already made it. And 2 hours later I said, hey, why do you want to do this? I just want to help people, Pat. I think we're on to something big here. I started out really, really passionate about this. The last couple of days have been emotional for me. I'm no longer passionate about Amare. I am 1,000% committed.
Amen.
We will build the largest mental wellness company in the world. Some of you weren't here the last couple of days, but I just had this vision the other day. I was at Universal Studios going up the escalator, and the escalator is a long escalator up at Hill. I looked down the valley. I just imagined our campuses. I imagined our campuses will be massive. I imagined myself driving around in my golf cart because campus is so big. Dr. Sean and his building and team were all trying to figure out, all the new stuff that's going to fix our world in the future. I kept on driving. Hi, Dr. Sean. I kept on driving. And the next building was Mark, his technologies team and his analytics team, and crunching all this data, because if we have 2 million customers, you know how much type of data we'll have on mental wellness? Mm-hmm. That's going to power the biggest, strongest mental wellness platform in the world.
Amen.
No one will have or even come close to what we have. It's not just about products. Products are a big piece of it, and we're very fortunate that we have Dr. Sean and the unicorn creating all these products for us. But I believe there's more. The vision is much bigger than the products. In my own transformation, it wasn't just about products. It was products and programs and people. The programs might be meditation, mindfulness, nutrition, movement, positive psychology, all these things that we need to couple with the products. The products, if you just take products alone, it's not sustainable. It's not enough to lift you, to hold you. So I believe it's products, programs, and a community. A community of like-minded individuals that believe the same thing. My belief that if you have a mental wellness transformation, and your life goes like from here to here, you get your clarity back, I guarantee you'll spend the rest of your life helping others for free. Like me. But we created the perfect vehicle. We coupled a business with it. Now you have the opportunity to better your health, right? Make a difference in others, make a difference in other people's lives, and make a lot of money. Because when you help people, your customers, I know we're 70-80% customers now. When those customers have that mental wellness transformation, they're going to be the strongest army in the world. Because why would you want anyone to suffer? If you feel so good now, why don't you put your hand back and pull the next person up? That's my story, guys.